أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم واذكروا نعمة الله عليكم وميثاقه الذي واثقكم به إذ قلتم سمعنا وأطعنا واتقوا الله إن الله عليم بذات الصدور صدق الله العظيم. Last week we read verse 6 of Ma'idah, and we did some of the translation, some tafsir of it, inshallah. We'll finish the tafsir of the 6th ayah and then move on to the 7th, inshallah. Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu, O believers, when you stand up for salah, فَاغْسِلُوا وُجُوهَكُمْ. We gave a background to wudu, the importance of tahara before salah. As far as the specifics, then in this ayah, as we mentioned last week, only the fara'id are mentioned, and through the sunnah we understand the other sunan and mustahabbat of wudu. So what is the fard? فَاغْسِلُوا وُجُوهَكُمْ. The first one being washing one's face. Washing. So what does washing mean? The way fuqaha, they define it, فَاغْسِلُوا, they say isala. What does isala means? For a person that there is enough flow of water. There has to be a flow of water. There's a difference between flow of water and soaking. Over here, how people make wudu, they soak themselves. When we're trying to fulfill a fard and with the sunnah mustahabbat, but unfortunately, whilst a person is making wudu, unfortunately, many of us perhaps are maybe even attracting perhaps some sin as well. How is that so? Rasulullah said in the hadith that a person, even if he is ala sahil, a person is by the ocean, even there a person cannot waste water. Yani a person should make his mentality such that a person will say, well, if you as much water as you take by the ocean, what difference does it make? It's going to fall down, the waves will take it back in, right? It's not a scientific issue. The issue isn't about that everything evaporates and it goes back and comes. That's not the issue. The issue is what we say, how a person builds a mizaj in himself, how a person builds himself, how you act. Because if you can stop, if you can stop yourself from wasting by the ocean side, then obviously you will not waste anywhere else, right? Anywhere over there, the water is in abundance. Over there, if you have control over yourself and you are disciplined over there, that means in every situation you'll be disciplined. So we should keep this in mind, that when we're going to fulfill the obligation of wudu, then we shouldn't be wasting water. So it's very simple. You open the tap, if you need to wash your hand, you take water and then you close it. And then you wash your hand. Then you need to rinse your mouth, then again you open it. Maybe there's a little bit taklif, then 1, 2, 3, 4 times you have to do this. But at the end of the day, it saves a person from a colossal sin. It's not even about the water bill will be too much. I'm not trying to save money. We should try to save the money for the masjid as well. But what's more important is for yourself. So you need to rinse your mouth, open the tap, close it, rinse your mouth 3 times and do it. When you need to do your face, same thing. Especially when it comes to the arms. The entire arm a person is putting inside 1, 2, 3, 4 times. This is not how we make wudu. There's no ihsan in this type of wudu. The feet, a person is washing. The entire glandides cannot make wudu in that much water. So these are things we should be aware of. A person should be aware of this. Now if one musalli comes does this, 2 musalli, 10, 20 musallis do this, imagine what's going to happen, right? So فَغْسِلُوا, that's why fuqaha, they say that only isala is the obligation. Meaning enough so that the water just flows. Enough that the water flows off of a person. فَغْسِلُوا وُجُوهَكُمْ. What's the had, the boundaries of the face? Yani from where a person's hairline starts until the chin when it comes tulan, vertically. And horizontally from one end of the earlobe till the other side over here. So all of this is in the circumference of the face. Obviously, if a person has a beard, then whatever is on the face, that much of the beard must be washed as well. فَاغْسِلُوا وُجُوهَكُمْ وَأَيْدِيَكُمْ إِلَى الْمَرَافِقِ, a person's arms until the elbows. وَامْسَحُوا بِرُؤُوسِكُمْ, and there's masih and wiping of the head. 1/4 of the head is fard according to the Hanafiya, and there is ikhtilaf and difference amongst other fuqaha. وَامْسَحُوا بِرُؤُوسِكُمْ. One of our Muslims asked this. So, where does this ikhtilaf and difference come from? So we can also understand the depth that the fuqaha and the jurors go into. That all comes from the understanding of the word of the harf ba over here. The harf ba over here that comes in Arabic, it comes for many different meanings. One meaning, it comes that they say it's an extra letter, and they call it ba za'idah. So those fuqaha who understood it like this, which are the Maliki fuqaha, so they'll say that the entire head must be wiped. Those that say that ba is lit-tab'id over here. Ba also comes for the ma'na of ba'd meaning a portion. So then they say, so those will be the Shafi'i fuqaha. So they'll say just a portion, 1 to 3 hairs, they say must be wiped. Hanafiya, they say that because of this difference, we turn to the Sunnah, and the minimum that we saw from the hadith of Rasulullah in the hadith of Mughira bin Shu'bah radiallahu anhu, he narrates that Rasulullah masaha ala nasiyatihi. Nasiya over here meaning the front portion of the head. So they calculate that 1/4 of the head. So all of this is based on a very intricate study of the ayah. وَامْسَحُوا بِرُؤُوسِكُمْ وَأَرْجُلَكُمْ إِلَى الْكَعْبِ. And the feet must be washed until the ankles. This is from the sima of Ahlus Sunnah. Ahlus Sunnah, they wash the feet until the ankles. Whereas Rawafid, they do not wash the feet, they wipe the feet. So the position of Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah is that the feet must be washed. And this is established through the Sunnah of Rasulullah through many ahadith of Rasulullah. وَإِن كُنْتُمْ جُنُوبًا فَاتَّهَرُوا. And if a person is in a state of major ritual impurity, where a ghusl is necessary, then the ayah says فَاتَّهَرُوا. This verb ittahharu, this in itself has the meaning of washing oneself completely, meaning the entire body. The entire body, a person, including the mouth and nose, must be washed. وَإِن كُنْتُم مَرْضَى. Now this is as far as when a person has water. The next portion of the ayah is when water is not found. وَإِن كُنْتُم مَرْضَى أَوْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ أَوْ جَاءَ أَحَدٌ مِّنكُمْ مِنَ الْغَائِطِ أَوْ لَامَسْتُمُ النِّسَاءَ فَلَمْ تَجِدُوا مَاءً فَتَيَمَّمُوا صَعِيدًا طَيِّبًا. The background to this portion of the ayah is that when Rasulullah Sahaba anhum, and Aisha anha was also in this safar, in this travel, they were traveling, and in the hadith it comes that a qilada, a chain of Aisha radiallahu anha went missing. So Rasulullah, it was also time for them to pitch camp, so he told them that we'll just stop here for the time being, and you can look for Aisha radiallahu anha's qilada as well, the necklace. So time passed, and they were looking for it, and some Sahaba, they came to Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, and they complained that, look, because Aisha radiallahu anha, she lost it, now we have to stay over here, and there's no water, we need to pray salah, what should we do? Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, being the father of Aisha radiallahu anha, also went to her, and he scolded her, and he comes in hadith that he also poked her, ta'anaha, that, look, because of you weren't careful, now everyone has to stop because of you. What happened is that the next morning, when the Sahaba anhum, they woke up, again there is no water, but at this point the ayat were revealed that if a person does not have water, and then what should he do? Then they should make tayammum. So upon this, Usayd ibn Hudayr radiallahu anhu, a famous Sahabi, he attended, he had accepted Iman even before the hijrah of Rasulullah in Aqaba Ula. From that time he had accepted Iman. He participated in all the major battles with Rasulullah. He said that ما هي بأول بركاتكم آل أبي بكر. That this isn't the first of the barakat that we see, which comes from the family of Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. That apparently all that we all had to stop because of Aisha anha, her necklace went missing. But look in here how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has kept this ni'mah in disguise for us. That through this barakah we learned this one hukum and command. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent this ease upon the ummah. So in this ayah, the Quran Kareem tells us that if a person is sick, a sickness, that if a person performs wudu because of it, it would increase the sickness, or it would delay a person becoming cured. So it's not saying any time a person is sick, any slight headache, then the person doesn't have to make wudu. but such a sickness that the water would make it difficult for a person to bear. أو على سفر, or a person is traveling, and the idea is when, especially in their times when you're traveling, they wouldn't have water. So we're in a situation a person is traveling, there is water, then this command does not apply. Or a person relieves himself and he does not, or a person cohabits with his spouse and there is no water. فَتَيَمَّمُوا صَعِيدًا طَيِّبًا. Then a person should make tayammum with pure earthly matters. فَامْسَحُوا بِوُجُوهِكُمْ وَأَيْدِيكُمْ مِنْهُ. How is tayammum made? The person strikes the ground once and he wipes his entire face, and then he strikes a second time and both the arms are washed. Only the are wiped rather. Only the face and the arms are wiped. مَا يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ لِيَجْعَلَ عَلَيْكُم مِّنْ حَرَجٍ. The Quran Kareem, look at the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that where there's no water, the Quran Kareem is saying that we're not overburdening you. مَا يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ لِيَجْعَلَ عَلَيْكُم مِّنْ حَرَجٍ. The Quran, the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not want to put you into any difficulty. وَلَكِنْ يُرِيدُ لِيُطَهِّرَكُم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to purify you. Look at how, although if physical purity is being spoken about, this is the context, but all types of purity are included. All the commands of Allah ta'ala, whether it comes to salah, whether it's the ibadat, whether it's the muamalat and the transactions, the fiqh of all of that, all of this is to purify you. وَلَكِنْ يُرِيدُ لِيُطَهِّرَكُم وَلِيُتِمَّ نِعْمَتَهُ عَلَيْكُمْ. And so that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may complete His ni'mah upon you. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَشْكُرُونَ. All of this is so that you may show shukr. What is the shukr that a person shows? That he follows the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The ease that Shara has given, a person adopts that, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward a person for that. One of the sifat of Allah ta'ala is that He is shakir. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is shakur. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what does it mean for Him being, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala being shakur Himself? That He gives us. So a person's shukr is that we take the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala happily and expecting reward, ihtisaban from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reciprocates that with Jannah. Make dua that Allah ta'ala gives us understanding the Quran Kareem.